Senator Roberts.
Thank you, President. My question is to the Minister representing the Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs, Senator Watt. With Labor embarking on the largest immigration program in Australian history, bringing in more than 500,000 people this year alone, more and more economists are warning these numbers are driving the inflation, hurting everyday Australian families. Following yesterday's 12th interest rate rise since Labor was elected, when will the government acknowledge they are completely wrong about high immigration and cut the numbers to sustainable levels?
Minister Watt. Senator McKenzie and Senator Smith. Senator Dean Smith. Minister Watt.
Senator Smith, it's most unlike you. I'm very disappointed in you. Very disappointed. Thank you for the question, Senator Roberts. And I hear again, in response to your question, Senator McKenzie demanding more spending for infrastructure. So I guess we're back to spend more in the economy and drive up inflation. That's where the opposition is at today. No, Senator Rannick's jumping up and saying
Senator
no.
Watt.
The Liberals disagree.
Senator Watt.
Okay.
Senator Watt, please resume your seat. Senator Roberts, I am going to direct the minister to your question, and I will remind those in here that the crossbenchers are entitled to be heard in silence and entitled to have their questions answered. They get less time than others in this place, and I would expect everyone to listen in respectful silence, Minister Watt, and refer to Senator Roberts' question.
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Well, I think I answered a very similar question from you the other day, Senator Roberts, and I did acknowledge that Australia's migration system, after 10 years of Liberal and National government, mainly overseen by the now opposition leader Mr Dutton, is in utter disarray. We have acknowledged that, and I know that the minister—
Minister, please resume your seat. Senator Roberts.
Of relevance, President, I'm asking about when will he cut the numbers to sustainable levels.
Thank you, Senator Roberts. I will remind the minister of your question. Minister Watt.
Thank you, President, and thank you, Senator Roberts. It is important to put this in context, and we have acknowledged that the migration system that we inherited, overseen largely by Mr Dutton, the now opposition leader, is a mess. It is a completely broken system, and we have taken already a number of measures.
Minister Watt, please resume your seat. Senator Roberts.
When will they acknowledge they are completely wrong about immigration, high immigration, and cut the numbers to sustainable levels? That's simple.
Thank you, Senator Roberts. I believe the minister is going to your question, and I'll continue to listen carefully. Thank you. Minister Watt.
Thank you, President. And we have taken a number of measures already since being elected to fix the mess of the broken migration system we inherited. For example, this government has ended the pandemic event visa, which was being abused in some cases, in many cases. We have changed the previously unlimited working hours that were available for international students, a system that was engineered by the former government, and we've also made changes to work exemptions for working holiday visa holders. We've also increased the temporary skilled migration income threshold from $53,900 to $70,000, and that is the first increase in a decade.
Minister Watt, please resume your seat. Senator Roberts.
When will he deal with cutting the high numbers?
Senator Roberts, I think he's being relevant to your question. Thank you, Minister.
Well, Senator Roberts, it's up to you to choose whether you want to listen to my answer or not, but I've already outlined a number of measures that we have taken to fix the migration system, thoroughly broken, overseen by Mr Dutton, and to try to put in place a more manageable migration system and more manageable immigration numbers. We are conscious that this is an issue that needs to be addressed, and we'll keep working on it.
Has expired. Senator Roberts, first supplementary.
Economic experts have for many months been calling for lower immigration levels to reduce the high demand causing the housing and rental crisis, forcing Australian families into homelessness and poverty. Minister, given that Labor's housing policy won't have any impact for 5 years, when will Labor admit its record immigration is the primary cause of the housing and rental crisis and act to lower immigration and allow Australians to put a roof over their heads, reduce rental costs and possibly own their own home?
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Minister Watt.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Senator Roberts. Well, as I say, I've already indicated a number of steps that the government has taken to make our migration system more manageable and to fix the mess that we inherited from the former government. Senator Roberts, I know that you're trying to draw a link between migration numbers and housing pressures, and it would have been nice if just once we could have had one nation's support for any of the housing measures that this government has put in place. Because we know, of course, that you voted with the coalition to oppose our $10 billion Housing Australia Future Fund, which won't take 5 years to start building houses. Senator Farrell has already talked today in answer to a question about the money that is already starting to flow to build homes under that program, which One Nation voted against, along with the coalition. So if you're serious about wanting to have more housing in place for Australians, maybe next time we put up something about building more homes for Australians, then you might care to actually back it. We've also forwarded significant billions of dollars to the states and territories to get building homes right now. That's the source. That's the way we fix the housing crisis.
Answering has expired. Senator Roberts, second supplementary.
Thank you. The world has been treated to footage of public demonstrations supporting Islamic terrorism at famous landmarks in Australia, as well as in this very chamber, a result of poor immigration control which has allowed radical, violent and extremist ideology to be imported here. Minister, when will Labor admit that immigration is out of control and act to ensure the safety and security of Australia by banning and deporting people who support Islamic terrorism?
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Minister Watt.
Well, Senator Roberts, I utterly reject the suggestion in your question that migrants are terrorists. I utterly reject that. You have sought to describe migrants as Islamic terrorists, and that is unjust and unfair.
Minister Watt, please resume your seat. Senator Roberts.
Impugning what I said, I did not say migrants are terrorists. I said Islamic extremists are terrorists.
Senator Roberts, the minister is being relevant to your question, and I'll continue to listen carefully. Order across the chamber. Minister Watt.
I'll let anyone go back and have a look at your question, Senator Roberts, and I think the implication is very clear about what you're trying to say and what you're trying to do. But this government, as well as fixing the migration system that was utterly broken under Mr Dutton and the opposition, we've also made very clear that we are committed to keeping the community safe from all forms of terrorism and violent extremism. The government's focus is addressing significant and emerging threats such as the rise of nationalist and racist violent extremism and the increasing radicalisation of young people. The government keeps security laws under review in light of evolving threats, including those posed by right-wing extremists, and is committed to ensuring our laws remain appropriate and effective. We've introduced a comprehensive package of reforms to protect the community from those who seek to spread hate, whoever they may be.